Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video brought to you by the creators of proprietary price, pattern, and time methodology. Learn the PPT strategies and profit for life. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, guys, let's get right into it here today. The markets are having a relatively quiet day until recently, when on this Thursday, January 3rd, we got the Federal Reserve minutes for their latest meeting. And the interesting factor here and why the markets has dipped just a little bit after being neutral to positive is essentially they came out and said, listen, we may be ending QE before everyone else thinks so. And it wasn't everyone at the meeting that said that. Remember, there's a bunch of Fed presidents. It was just more than the market was expecting. So there are a few more players in the Federal Reserve saying we don't think the bond buying programs we're doing and we're going to be doing in the future really are helping growth. We're a little worried about the consequences long term of this, and therefore we may vote eventually to end it and do away with it by the end of 2013. Obviously, the market doesn't like this, right? Because the market is addicted to the Federal Reserve's printing of money. So, printing of money has been the drug that has been injected into the market for 4 years now. So, the idea that it could just vanish could create a little bit of a withdrawal aspect. Okay, so that's kind of an interesting little factor there. And the markets, again, they're not really selling off sharply, but we were flat to positive, and now, again, as you can see here, we've taken a little bit of a dip to the negative side. S&P's down about 3, Dow's down 21, Nasdaq's down about 6 on the day. In all fairness, the markets are short-term extended. If you zoom out and go back to the gap down we had, I believe this was Monday, and then the reversal. We were all the way down to about the 139.50 on the SPY. The high of the day today, 146.50 or so. So, I mean, that's a 7-point move, or about 5% on the markets in the last 3 trading days. And, you need a little bit of a breather there. Regardless of how it all plays out in the next few days, markets are due for a little bit of a breather. All right, so that's what you have going on in the intraday. Until we got those Fed minutes, you can see the market had just been in float mode with very, very light volume. Since we got the Fed minutes, the market again downticked with a little bit of excess volume. The movers today there are a few of them. You have Amazon up $1.40, Google, Baidu both trading higher on the day. Good scalping day in the intraday stock chat in the morning session. There were scalps on Google, on Baidu, JCPenney, and a couple other ones as well, along with small caps. One of the highlighted small caps today was VRNG. This was given to the chat room at a price of $2.88 right here. And look at the move that it had after it was given out to members. So again, just a great move on VRNG, small cap here. Plenty of volume. It's traded 8 million shares today, so it's not like it's a thin one either. But nailing another small cap here at InTheMoneyStocks.com in the intraday stock chat. Other small caps out there to play, there are plenty. Small cap solar stocks are having huge days. Look at the chart on LDK. This stock, again, just going back to October, was trading at 70 cents. Just since the last couple days of the year into the new year, the stock has gone from $1 to essentially $2, 100% gain. And you can look at any of these solar stocks. They're all having big, big days today. SOL, YGE is up 36 cents, over 10% there. TSL, look at this chart. Just going back to November, mid-November, this stock was $2. It's now $5.25. So the Chinese solars are having a big day, which leads me to wonder if the only sector in alternate energy that really hasn't gotten a pop could see a pop, and that is the fuel cells. So one to keep an eye on is Ballard Power, BLDP. Low end of the chart, fuel cell stock. If the solars are running, maybe this starts to run. Also Plug, PLUG, low end of the chart. Again, dead lows, actually 52-week lows essentially today. And at some point, I wonder if money flow won't start to rotate into these stocks. And again, if you just look at the 100% gainers on some of these solar stocks over the last week or so, you can't help but think it might not be a bad risk reward to be in some of these. All right. And again, I think the key is to understand these aren't long-term plays. These are try to catch the lightning in the bottle to make a 50% or 100% in a week or two. If these things go, they go. If not, then so be it. Your downside's 48. It's trading at 48 cents, for instance. Your downside's 48 cents. Upside could be 50 cents to a buck. You never know. All right, so just something to keep an eye on there. Let's take a look at some of the large caps. J.P. Morgan Chase down just a little bit today, coming back in again. You can see it was actually floating up until those Fed minutes, and the Fed minutes took it down. And if we scan to a couple others, Goldman Sachs opened higher slightly and then just sold off. Since then, it's made a bearish pattern, but hasn't broken down off that bearish consolidation pattern yet. With the market breaking down, the fact that it hasn't is a decent sign. But if the market continues to break down, I would think that Goldman would follow suit. Apple today down about $4, slowly inching towards the lows of the day. Apple's had a huge run over the last couple trading days. So again, just like a lot of the market, it's due for a little bit of a pause. What else do we want to look at here? I'm trying to see if there's anything else of interest. I think that's about it. Baidu was a great call today. The call was for a short scalp right up in this range. Take a look at this range. That was a great level there. If you go to the daily chart, you can see why. But right off of this area, 106 to 107 area, the pullback on Baidu, it should have topped out short term today, in my opinion, on BIDU. This stock, again, was trading in the high 80s, and that was just a couple weeks ago. It's now basically up 25% off of those levels. Let's take a look quickly at the dollar. The dollar should be whippy just based on what the Fed said today. And look at the dollar spike today. A very nice dollar move up 18 cents on the UUP. Going to the dollar chart on the daily here, you can see that we've continued to move up, and we've actually pierced the 50 MA. Now, the interesting thing about this is that you could be having a preliminary head and shoulders pattern here, shoulder, head, and shoulder, but it would have to curve over and head back down. If this continues to move up and gets above the 200, then that would be negated. As long as it stays below the 200, it technically could curve over eventually and roll over to the downside. Taking a look at the USO, last but not least here, the USO is down slightly on the day as it's had a pretty sizable run, and gold obviously is taking a big hit today as the dollar bounces higher on what the Fed just said. Gold, silver, and most commodities should be put under a little bit of pressure. All right, guys, enough said. Come here to InTheMoneyStocks.com. Take the 7-day free trial to the Research Center. Learn the PPT proprietary methodology strategies. This is where we teach you how to fish for yourself with an 80 to 90% success rate. Join the pros, learn this, and then profit for the rest of your life. Take care.